Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum today in Washington for the FIFA World Cup draw. And this, of course, comes months ahead of the scheduled renegotiations of the CUSMA, Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement Pact.
So for more on this, we're joined live this morning by Goldy, Hyder, President and CEO of the Business Council of Canada. Goldy, good to talk to you this morning. Appreciate your time here. I took a look at your speech that you gave in Washington this week, where you say extending the USMCA is, of course, important to Canada, but you also say it is crucial to American prosperity, American competitiveness, and American security. I think many of us may be thinking Donald Trump doesn't seem to either care about that or consider that. How do you think, this speech or this push by Canada will actually go over there? And do you think you can convince him? Because most of the evidence suggests otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Well, the people who put him in office certainly believe that's why they put him in office, right? Is to bring prosperity to America. And what is bringing prosperity to America is, in fact, the USMCA. It is a gold standard trade deal. It is the president's deal. It is a deal that he negotiated with great fanfare and called the greatest deal of all time. And our message here, and frankly, it doesn't matter what our message here is. What matters is the American message here mirrors the message of Canadians and Mexicans saying, this is good for America. It's created 13 million jobs. The trade agreement creates 13 million jobs directly here in the United States. It has helped them grow their economy. But at the same time, it has strengthened North America. Our message here has been, it's good for America to have a strong Canada and a strong Mexico as its neighbors. And I can tell you, hearing from American organizations across this process, they're in complete unison with us on that message. And so I expect over the course of time, these are all negotiation tactics so far. We will get there. And I want to make sure Canadians have hope that we're going to be okay.
Does it worry you at all how cavalierly President Trump sort of this week said, maybe we'll renegotiate it or maybe we'll blow it up?
Well, I'm going to get myself in trouble here because I said, maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs will win the cup and maybe they will not. Right? There's a lot of maybes out there. There's a lot of possibilities out there. What I know is this much. You just got to keep away from the noise. What we see is the process is underway here in the United States. First of all, the president's decision to effectively, exempt Canada's tariffs for all CUSMA compliant, which is, again, USMCA compliant goods, is something that suggests that they believe in this agreement and they recognize the integrated nature of it. You can't just hurt Canada. You will also hurt yourself. First point. Second point, you do have this process underway. Why am I here? Why are so many of our colleagues here from Canada and the U.S. and Mexico? Because the administration, not an outsider, the government of the United States of America is running its process for 270 days worth of consultations to hear from Americans. I don't think you do those things if your intention is to blow the agreement up.
Yeah. OK, so it looks like if you were playing poker with President Trump, you're calling his bluff. You think that this is important to him and whatever he says, does in the media, it's just a negotiation tactic. But if things do get down to, hey, I want this from you and you got to give it to me because Trump's a businessman. Does Canada have any leverage, given that we know Trump wants access to our dairy? He wants, to kind of sort out the origin of auto manufacturing. What do you think Canada can kind of dangle in front of him and say, hey, we want things done our way, too?
Well, that's a great question, because the implication there is, what can we give? Look, it's a negotiation. We need to give and we need to get. We still want access to the U.S. market. Foreign direct investors around the world are telling us, if you want investment in Canada, make sure you maintain access to the United States. Now, there's a price for that access. And that's what this process is about. America, when it negotiates, it needs to win. It's just the way it is, not with Canada, with the whole world. What we've got to figure out is, how do we give them the win that they're looking for while making sure that it's good for Canada, that we can continue to be competitive and that we can continue to grow, so all of those people who are celebrating their birthdays can look forward to hope that every year is going to get better for them.
Delicate dance, indeed. We'll see what unfolds, not really talks-wise today, but at least the President and Prime Minister will see each other. Goldy Hyder, President and CEO of the Business Council of Canada. Appreciate the time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.